We've been playing a ton of Pokemon Let's Go, and you probably have as well. Recently, we discussed our 5 big problems with the game. Well, today we're here to tell you the 5 things we love. After pinching a lot of Pikachu butts and Eevee tails, here's our list of the best parts of Pokemon Let's Go.
I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your Pikachu, Zach, but
Hey,
that is not how Eevee and I get down.
We're just hanging out and having fun. The game is actually a lot of fun, and in spite of the issues and in spite of things that I do hope that they really change, here are some that we've been enjoying. Definitely let us know your favorite features of Pokemon Let's Go down in the comments below. Maybe you agree with one from our list, or maybe you've got your own. We'd love to hear from you and why that is what you love about the game. Also, we've got super sweet t-shirts that just launched. They're limited edition, available for 2 weeks only. Hashtag Team Electric, hashtag Team Elemental. The battle rages on. These are the perfect shirts and hoodies to pair with your Pokemon journey, and the best part is every person that buys one and tweets us their order confirmation will be entered to win one of the legendary Pokemon Switch console bundles.
Such a cool incentive for getting these shirts. But Zach, I need you to stop listening for a minute, because I need to talk to all my Team Elemental peeps and let them know that there is no way we can let them beat us. We have to continue to get the Team Elemental shirts. I'm probably going to buy a whole bunch of them just on my own to make sure that we overtake these. I don't even know what I want to call you guys. You guys are imposters. You guys are
Team Electric for life. That's the way to go. That's the way to roll.
You're Team Rocket,
yes.
and Team Elemental is the good guys, and we have to stop you. So we have to sell a little bit more of ours.
It's a very close battle right now. I'm surprised that it is so close, but it'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top. And make sure to click the link in the description if you want to grab one, because as a special thank you to all you SwitchForce fans, this is where you can get 10% off only via these description links. Shh, don't tell anybody. Grab it there. Get them now. 2 weeks only. And definitely hashtag Team Electric. Number 1 is the Overworld and how the Pokemon appear on it. Now, I think this is the greatest addition, is seeing the Pokemon run around. Some are very tiny, hiding in the grass like an Oddish or a Caterpie. Some are oddly large like Psyduck or Butterfree, and some are just crazy, running around like they have no care in the world. But finding them on the field is so much fun. It helps the pacing of who you're going to catch and who you want to run into so much, and it's something I hope that is here to stay.
Yeah, same here. Like, this is the one big improvement that this game has done that I hope never goes away at all. I love seeing the Pokemon in the overworld. It makes the world seem like it's more alive. Like, there's all these like creatures all over the place. Like, sometimes you walk down the street and see a dog, right? It's not like a random dog encounter. They're just all over the place. So, yeah, this to me adds a pinch of realism to these Pokemon games that I felt was missing. It's my favorite addition.
Yeah, it livens it up a lot, and the same can be said for having a Pokemon follow you around, being able to ride, and those are not necessarily brand new features, but in this game and along the same vein of seeing them everywhere, it just helps fill out the world with flourishes and fun, and makes this, as I've said so many times, like my favorite iteration of Pokemon visually, and just that experience of being a trainer in the world. I think it's super immersive and super awesome. Next up, and it kind of ties in, would be just the whole graphical scheme and the whole way that they have presented this game to us. It helps that it's a home console, so you have more oomph and power behind the visuals. I love that it's spread out, that there's more space. I actually like the interface, and I like the UI and how it just feels like a more dynamic home console game this time around.
Yeah, and they had to do that just because it was a big transition from what it's been on handhelds to this now. There's going to be bigger screens at play, way more real estate, and I really like it too. I am like super curious. Are they going to stick with something similar to this for the next gen that's coming next year, or is it going to be something like dramatically different and they're going to keep this in a Let's Go style? I have no idea, but I'm eager to see what they do. What do you think that this is going to be the art style that sticks around?
I kind of hope so. We've talked about how they have this already established, so why not? And I love just some of the little nuances of like the big eyes and just how a lot of the characters look. Mankey looking so goofy all the time, and Pikachu looking so cute. And if they carry that over and transition it into the rest of the entire Pokedex and onto Gen 8, I think that would be super fun. It's very bright, it's very colorful. One of the the downsides of being home console and playing on your TV is that you have to deal with motion control, but we'll save that discussion for another time. I do love the graphics. I do love the visual presentation, and it's fun to play it on a big screen. It's fun to play it on your couch, and I think they did a really nice job, including the just how lively the world is. There's some like cutscenes and things that I think look really nice and really fun. I'll give a special shout out early on in the game to the Bill moment. Really enjoyed that one. And there's also this hallway that I absolutely love. I even recorded it on my phone because I thought it was like such a pretty hallway. You're like running at the screen. Very, very nicely done. Kudos to the hallway designers.
Zach just really likes riding around Snorlax people. Don't let him trick you talking about he loves the game visually and he hopes this art style stays around. No, he just wants to ride Snorlax forever.
Or is it Onyx because he's so dang tall and it just messes with their perspective? I do love that as well. The fact that they have so much scope and scale in this game, that kind of ties into both of our first 2 points here. But that is fantastic. Number 3 for us is that the Pokemon box is with you always. The fact that you can switch out and swap up your party at any point just running around is really awesome. There are some conveniences in the game that maybe take things a few steps back, but this one to me is an incredible addition. The fact that you don't have to waste time and deal with these menial tasks of going to the PC and blah 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 blah. You just get them there, you can swap them out. That is something that really stands out as a fun feature this time around.
Yeah, another thing that I hope never changes ever again, because it's so convenient. If you catch like a cool new Pokemon and you already have like your bags full, it gets sent to this PC, you gotta go get it in order to get in your party. I don't know, maybe some people like that for like pure sense of nostalgia, just because that's the way it had been before, but I love this new way that it's done, and having every single Pokemon and access to them at all times, I think it's paramount, and I hope that it's here to stay.
You hit the nail on the head. That is the moment that makes this so grand, is when you catch something cool and you can instantly swap it in. You don't have to wait, and if you're like mid-route or in between, or if you're at some, more elongated story point, you don't have to have that delay. You get to go get it. Instant gratification. We can say good and bad things about that, but I like that they've implemented it here, and it's a lot of fun. There's just some other nice conveniences as well. I think the menus are really well done. I know you feel that they're like too in your face, colorful and bright and jazzy, but I like how I don't necessarily like the Joy-Con controls, but I like how they've been able to make everything work smoothly and seamlessly with just a few buttons.
It'd be nice if we had some more buttons to do some more things that are a little annoying to do with just the 2 buttons. But, that's a conversation for another time. They can, like, simplify and make things a little more intuitive, I feel like. But, yeah, the Joy-Con thing, I'm so torn up about, because I've come to actually, like, I hate using the word, but I've come to hate the motion control in the game, honestly.
Yeah, well, I just like that the menus are easy to navigate regardless of what control method they are using or will use. Number 4 for us is the partner Pokemon integration. They are definitely pretty OP, but I love the fact that you have this bond with a singular Pokemon and you get to interact with it, you get to see it with you always, you get to clothe it, dress it up. There's a lot of awesome additions that come into play with the partner and that integration. I genuinely hope this is something that they carry forward as well. Let you pick whatever starter you want, but have that deep level of connection with a specific Pokemon. I think that helps this adventure and helps that immersion, as we've talked about throughout the video.
Zach clearly told us how he feels about his partner Pikachu in the beginning of the video, so I feel like he's a little biased here. But yeah, they did a really good job here. Yes, you can like customize stuff before. This isn't the first time customization makes it to a game, but the way it's here is so cool. And petting your Eevee every once in a while, super cute. Note that I say Eevee and not Pikachu because Eevee's superior. Feeding them berries and having them react to the overworld. I love having Blastoise just like find berries for me in the bushes for some reason. That's something I really enjoy because I like Blastoise's waddle for some reason. It just makes me laugh. So I have him follow me around, and I just can't get over the fact when he finds a berry, he's just so happy that he could find a berry for you. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, the follow Pokemon, the partner Pokemon, having both of them with you, it makes it feel like you are this super awesome trainer, and I think those are the elements of Pokemon Let's Go that need to be remembered the most. How well they help you fulfill the trainer fantasy. And Gabe, I want you to be careful with the Blastoise, because I don't want you to push for Blastoise to be the partner Pokemon. I feel like he would squish you, and we can only have small guys starting out on your head or shoulder. And maybe they could, mess around with it, and so like eventually, if they're in their middle form, they ride on your back, and then maybe once they're in their big form, you ride on them or something. Their final form, something of that sort. But I think partner Pokemon is really good, is really cool, and it does make it a little bit. It gives it a cuteness overload. I'll just say that.
Look,
whether you're pinching the tail or petting the head, it does.
If they do like make it so that the next iteration of Pokemon does have like a more intense relationship with the starter Pokemon like this one, just make sure it's not OP anymore, because that's like the one big downside to it. And for a lot of these, there are upsides and downsides to them. But yeah, keep the like intensity of the relationship you have with the starter Pokemon here, but let's also make sure that he or she is not the strongest thing in the world. So let's have a little bit of balance here.
Speaking of intense relationships, I named my rival Gabe, and there's a moment early on where Gabe comes up to me and says like, "Oh, you have something sparkly in your hair," and like stares right at you, gets really close, and that it kind of weirded me out a little bit there.
Okay.
So I just. Number 5, our final point here, is the nostalgia of this original region and of the original 151. Obviously, we don't want this to carry over, but it is very heartwarming. It's like a good warm cup of hot cocoa to go back and see all of these familiar faces and see them all the time, right? It's not like, oh, hey, I remember that guy. It's like, okay, we get Tangela, and we get Cubone, and we get Oddish, and we get Charmander, and there's just so many good vibes for me, and taking me back to my childhood and reliving these areas and the gyms, but now in bright, bold, new style and with visual flair and pop, and the Pokemon on the field. It's really such a good job of remaking and redefining what this original experience was like. And usually when you have a nostalgia trip, you look at it and it's nowhere near what it once was. Here is a case because of the updates, the tweaks, the full conversion that they've done, where it's like, okay, now this is how I want to remember this, and nostalgia and childhood imagination has now reached complete actuality in Pokemon Let's Go.
You've almost touched on one of my favorite things about experiencing this for the first time. I've made no secret that, the last Pokemon I played was a very long time ago. And I remember these specific Pokemon, the original 151s, so fondly and so vividly from like Pokemon cards, and I believe you call them Pongs. We had different names for them because we Pogs. That's what you're talking about. I didn't know the name because I growing up speaking Spanish. Regardless, that's not going that tangent. So I remember them so vividly from all those other things that I wanted to see what these Pokemon look like in this world. So every time that, my Charmeleon evolved or a Squirtle, like a new evolution was always so exciting because I hadn't seen these like more advanced Pokemon in the game yet. I'm like, oh, I want to see what these look like in this more like 3D realized art style. That was something that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where if they do carry this over, I think it would be I'd be smitten with every encounter to see what the Gen 2 and the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 all look like in this fashion. But that is our list of what we love most about Pokemon Let's Go. Let us know in the comments down below how you feel about the game and which of these ring true to you. The overworld and the Pokemon that are all over it, whether you're riding them, whether they're finding them, whether they're following you, the graphics, the visual presentation, the new flair and immersive style that they've created, the box being with you and swapping out Pokemon at free will, some of the convenience updates that they've made to the game, the partner Pokemon integration and how we hope they carry that forward without making them a little too strong, and then the nostalgia of Kanto 151 now having new life breathed straight into it. Guys and girls, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from the Switch, from Pokemon Let's Go, and from more Nintendo games coming soon. A little one called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate may be quite close.
No
so hopefully
one
see
really
you there.
likes that game. Don't worry about it. No one likes that game.
Hey, I like it. I'm gonna make it a cult favorite. Okay.
Yeah,
that's my mission.
Well, you're gonna be the only person that buys that game, so it's okay.
I'm gonna push it like I pushed Astro Bear's Party, and we're gonna get the entire planet playing along. Though in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter and Discord. We got links in the description below for myself and Gabe. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. SwitchForce out.